Day 30. Wow, imagine that. Day 30. How did we get here so fast? Wow, the summer just is flying by. Anyway, we're on day 30 today of our low spend, no spend. And I do have to show the book. I don't want any copyright infringements. 31 Days to Living Well and Spending Zero. And it's by Ruth Soukup. And it's been a very interesting book. And I have enjoyed it. So let's get to it. All right, I want to read you a quote that made so much sense to me. And I kind of keep this laying around and read it every now and then, and maybe it'll make sense to you too. And it has to do with manifestation. I've always been a firm believer in manifestation, and I really think it works. You have to set your mind not at a poor man's level. Even if you don't have a lot of money, you can still set your mind to a life of abundance. And abundance to me doesn't mean I have a lot of money. It doesn't mean necessarily I have a lot of things. Abundance to me is whatever is important to me that I have in my life, the things that I'm grateful for. Family, friends, talent. Everybody has something that they can be thankful for and have an abundance of. It depends on your mindset. Even the abundance of the beauty of nature, it's just everything around you is abundance. So my channel isn't always focused on just money. This past journey that I've been taking was one that was necessary for me because I do have a few bills I need to get paid off. I had cataract surgery a year ago this month, and I did have an upgrade of the lenses for that because I didn't want to wear glasses anymore. So I put that on Care Credit. And if you're not familiar with Care Credit, it's a service, it's like a credit card, and you have so many months to pay off, same as cash. You can also use it for your pets. You can use it for any medical conditions you have, if medication, anything like that. So check out Care Credit, because you can also, if you need to take your dog to the vet and maybe you don't have the money right away, you can put it on your Care Credit and pay it off without interest. So that's what I'm doing with my eyes. I've paid more than half of it down, and I've used it before when I had my little Allie, who was my soulmate dog. She was diabetic, and she had to have insulin for 2 years. And so, of course, I had to take her to the vet more often. And when she needed something, I had to put it on my Care Credit. I paid that off long ago. But, it's really a good thing to have just in case. So check out Care Credit. Now, I want to read this quote to you about manifesting. And it says, effective manifestation does not require you to justify your desires or weigh options. Allow yourself to follow your gut instinct and commit to what you want with 100% certainty. And that to me made so much sense, because so many of us, if we have a desire to have something, sometimes you can feel guilty because you want that thing, or you feel like, oh, I don't deserve that, or whatever. But you do deserve it. If it's what you desire, you do deserve it. So, but you have to go in full bore, 100% commit to that. So that's all I wanted to say about the manifestation. It has worked many times in my life. Um, and I think it really does work. So there's plenty of books out there about it too. Some people keep dream boards or journals. I love to journal. Um, I write in my journal all the time, and it just focuses me, gets me focused on what I want. If I have issues that I need to work through, it helps me with those. So that's just a little tip. Anyway, let me get to day 30. And today is day 30, Plan for the Future. And it's for long-term financial peace. And we all need that. I don't know if any of us, unless you're really wealthy, ever totally have financial peace, especially if you have a lower income. And you're used to worrying about money and things that could happen. I don't know if that ever truly goes away, even if you do have, an emergency fund or whatever. There's so many things in life that can happen. And as you get older, you realize that life isn't always all roses. We all have things that happen to us that maybe become an emergency. But if you have a little bit of cushion in your back, it's certainly going to make your emergency a little bit easier. So in the book, it lists several resources for financial planning, and I'm going to read them to you, but not the website. I'll put those below. But these are the websites they recommend, and also Living Well, Spending Less has the resources on there as well. But number one is 5 Habits of Successful Debt Slayers, and that is actually from Living Well, Spending Less. Number 2 is How Not to Give Up on Your War on Debt, and that's also from Living Well, Spending Less. I imagine that's from the blog. Number 3 is 10 Smart Ways to Build an Emergency Fund from Living Well and Spending Less. Number 4 is Top 10 Ways to Prepare for Retirement, and that's from Dol.gov. Number 5 is How to Save for Retirement on a Low Income, and that's from U.S. News and World Report. Number 6 is How Much Should I Save for Retirement, from Christian PDF or Christian PF. Number 7 is How 401k Plans Work, from How Stuff Works. And number 8 is Guide to College Saving Plans, from CNN Money. So I will post those below. Let's see. Oh, on the 401ks, if your company offers those, by all means, put as much money into those as you can. It allowed me to retire a little bit earlier, and it was because I put the maximum amount into my 401k when I did work, and they took it right out of my pay. I never saw the money, I never missed the money, and I didn't count it in my spending money. It was just there, invested and earning more money. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to invest in your 401k or whatever program your employer offers. And a lot of these employers will also do a match. It may not be a one-on-one match, but they may match some of your contributions. So those are the websites, and it also says the primary thing that this low spend, no spend month taught me was to reduce my spending, first of all. And today I'm going to go and probably cancel my DirecTV, and I have explored a couple other options. I may not cancel it right away. I want to try, actually I want to try YouTube TV for a month for free, and see if I like that. And then if that works for me, then I'm going to get rid of my DirecTV. So and this isn't a plug for YouTube TV or anything. I'm really not affiliated with YouTube other than this channel. But I'm going to try that, and I believe it's $49.99 or $95 a month, which I think is very reasonable since my DirecTV bill is $120 a month. And I'm not getting much bang for my buck with that. So I want to change that. I'm going to check into that today. Getting out of debt. Of course, there's always Dave Ramsey's program. Dave Ramsey has a YouTube channel where he teaches you how to spend your money. He is an advocate of the envelope system. I'm not a big cash person. I like to use my debit card. So I don't like keeping cash around, but what I do is I have several bank accounts with my same bank, and you can open as many as you want. I have one for vacation. I have one for Christmas. I have one for paying bills, and it works out great for me. So whatever extra I have from my bills, I put into one of my other savings accounts. And that way I have some little extra money to do other things. I do want to start a car fund now. It's getting to be time. So I will open up another savings for that. But I wanted to show you too, this is my budget book. And I went over this before, and I got these pretty pages on a website. It's called www.bloominghomestead.com, and you can print these out for free. You can get a binder at the Dollar Tree, and you can make your own binder. So mine is, I have the months. I have each month, and then in the month, I have, like this was for July, which I didn't fill out. Like I said, I've been really bad with this, and I want to start new in September. September 1st, I'm going to be doing this. I did do it for a few months, then I went off the rails somewhere. I don't know why. So I have the calendar, and I write my bills in here when they're due, what I spent that day, and at the end I total it up, how much I spent that week, and then in the bottom I total up the month. Real easy. You know, for a while I was using an online spreadsheet, but I found that to be tedious because I always had to be by my computer. I had to go into the program, you know, do the math and say it was just too much. I like this. It's very simple. So I have that there. Then here, this is just to do for the month, to-dos and goals and whatever. And then there's two of those. And then there's a ledger, a monthly ledger, who you pay, what you pay, the beginning balance. I use this for my, if I have any outstanding debts, if I have an Amazon or PayPal or like my eyes, I put that here and the amount and what the balance is. That way I can see every month how much I've paid down, and that in itself is very motivating. So that's, and I do this for every month. When it's filled out, I put that month to the end. I have this is the end of the month. I stick it in there in order, and then I have a new month in the beginning. So that's how I do it. I also have a little calendar in here that just kind of fits in the pocket. And what I was doing meal plans here. But I found with my meal planning, I'm much better off to make a list of meals that I know I have available and keeping that handy, because on Tuesday I may not feel like having tacos. I may feel like having soup. So I didn't want to put myself in a box with my meal spending. I'm sorry, my meal planning. I like the flexibility of going to a list of potential meals and going, yeah, I feel like having this today. So that works for me. So, but you can keep that in this binder too, but it's very simple. Any articles that I find that are for financial, that help out financial, and like this one, for instance, talks about, I just kind of keep them here in the notebook as a reference. This one talks about find your TV bliss in 4 easy steps, and it goes through all the different options you have for TV. So there's good suggestions in there. And this is another TV thing, so just random things. This is it time to cut the cord? So anything that I find financially that I think will be of help, I stick in here. And if this gets too full, I put it in a separate notebook as a reference. So that's been working great for me. And as I said, I really have been slipping on this, and I was doing very well when I was doing this budget. And then you kind of, and it's like the whole program, really any change in your life is like learning to walk. You take a few steps, you fall down, you get back up, you take a few more steps, you fall down, and the process continues over and over until you master the change. So it's the same way with anything you want to accomplish in your life, whether it's learning a new skill, learning a new budget, any lifestyle change. I can't remember exactly how many days, but to build a new habit, I think takes 28 days. Let's just say it takes a month. So you have to keep doing the same thing over and over and not telling yourself, oh God, I did it and I failed. You don't fail until you quit trying. So continue on your journey, continue trying. The only time that I can see where you quit doing something is when it no longer benefits you. So, I don't know, an example of that might be if you're in an abusive relationship and you keep trying and trying to fix it, and you realize, I'm never going to fix it because I'm not in this alone. That isn't quitting. That's just being prudent and making a good decision when you quit something like that. But if it's something that you desire, then keep going. Fall down and get up and keep doing it again. So anyway, what else do I have? Try using, if you've gone through this program, even if, it's a few days at a time, again, try it over and over again. Do it 3 or 4 days a month, do it a week a month, but continue to build on what you've learned already and make it a new lifestyle. Cut down on the excess, get what you really desire, and because it's like a trickle that keeps trickling out like a leaky faucet, the water just trickles out, and you don't have the money to get what you really desire because it keeps trickling away. So anyway, so the book says to picture your future self in a positive way. In other words, picture yourself in your retirement. What is it you desire in your retirement? And then start working towards that. Make little goals. It doesn't have to be, sometimes goals are overwhelming if you don't cut them down into small goals. So, okay, I'm going to put $10 away for retirement this month. And then you do that for a while and you see, I didn't miss that $10. Then maybe next time when you're used to doing that, I'm going to put $25 away for retirement and do that. And that works for vacation, it works for anything that you desire. So first you have to figure out what is it you desire. That would be like anybody watch the program Lucifer? That's a really good program. It's on Netflix now. And he always said to, Lucifer always said to his, the people that were being bad, he'd always ask them, what is it you desire? And then they'd, of course, tell him. But it's actually a funny show. It's not dark or anything. It's really a cute show. So check out Lucifer on Netflix. But it used to be on network TV, so it might be on Hulu or some of the other programs. But I really enjoy that show. Anyway, wow, I kind of went off on a bender there, didn't I? So anyway, picture your future self with your children and college. And not all parents are able to pay their children's college. A lot of times your children have a lot of years to pay back their college debt if that's the route they go. Yes, absolutely help them if you can, but you also have to live your own life too. So, and maybe have them check into other things that might interest them. Not everybody has to get a PhD because honestly, there's so many people that are going to college that have graduated that are baristas in a coffee shop because they can't find a job in whatever field they picked, and they don't have the job, but they have all this huge debt that they have to pay off. So you have to be smart about that too. And there's nothing wrong with trade schools or apprenticeships, anything like that. There is nothing wrong with that, and you can make a perfectly good living for you and your family doing these things. So if you desire to go to college and be a doctor or a lawyer, that's wonderful too. But you know, talk with your children about what it is they would like, and not just because their friends are going away to college, that it's the thing to do, just whatever they desire, how to earn a living. So um, anyway, plan now for the future. However you need to do that. And even if it's just putting a couple dollars away, um, start somewhere. Just start. Have a plan. Write it down. I find when I write things down, I'm more apt to go with that and to follow and be more dedicated to the outcome if I write things down. So I'm a great writer. I love to write things down. So anyway, I think I've gone over everything that I wanted to say. I wanted to do a couple of shout outs to a couple of my financial friends that have a lot of really good ideas. Um, One of them is Jan from New York City Saves Money, and I'll try to remember to link their channels below. Another channel that has really great tips. She does a couple of short videos every day, and that is Sensible Living with Money Mom. And she has a lot of really good ideas on saving money and paying off debt. And then there's also Coffee with Kate. She's a delightful lady that she has 2 children and a husband, and they live in California on a low income. And she just goes over her life, and she has a lot of tips, and she cooks and has a garden, and she's just a lot of fun to watch. So I recommend those channels. And tomorrow I'm going to try and come up with, I have some other financial friends that I enjoy their channels. So I'm going to do some shout outs to them as well. So if I didn't shout out to you this time, leave me a comment below, and I will do a shout out to you. I'd love to do that, but I'm also going to try to do that a little more often. All right, my friends, I've done enough talking. I need a beverage, and not alcohol. Not yet. It's too early. I'm not a big drinker anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and say, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Lately I've been posting every day. Sometimes I post 2-3 times a week. It depends on how busy my life is. But with this past series, I have had to post every day. And so if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe, come back and see me again. For those of you that have been following me on this journey, who come and listen to my talks and share in my adventures, I'm very grateful to you, and I thank you so much for coming back and visiting with me. So without further ado, I want to tell you guys I love you, and I wish you many abundant blessings, and I'll see you next time.